I wake up at 6:30 because the nausea clock is more reliable than my iPhone. I lie there for a full minute, hand on my belly, waiting to see if today's the kind of morning where I lose my breakfast or just my patience. The house is quiet, too quiet. Ethan's side of the bed hasn't been slept in. Again, I reach for my phone. No texts, no missed calls. His location, shared via Find My, is off, which means either his phone died or he remembered how to hide from me. Knowing Ethan, it's the latter. He's been doing it more lately, slipping out after dinner, muttering something about late sync-ups or investor pressure. I used to ask questions. Now I just let him go. I swing my legs out of bed, pat into the kitchen, and set the kettle on. While it heats, I check my email out of habit. Inbox full of the usual babyless promotions. A reminder from Dr. Patel's office. A note from Sienna at the vintners. Keep confirming the final head count for the shower. $18,000 non-refundable. Paid in full 3 weeks ago. I stare at that number longer than I should. My sister Margot texts before I can pour the tea. Did you see Valley Bite yet? I frown. Margot doesn't do mornings unless someone's dying or eloping. I tap the link. The page loads slow, then fast, then too fast. A photo fills the screen. Ethan, tanned and grinning, wearing that linen shirt I bought him for his birthday. Next to him, Julian Voss, VP of Product, Ethan's right hand, both of them holding champagne flutes under a string of fairy lights in what looks like a vineyard tasting room. The caption reads, "Love logs off. AI startup founder Ethan Cole elopes with VP Julian Voss in surprise Napa ceremony." I read it twice, then a third time. My thumb hovers over the image, zooming in on Julian's left hand. No ring, but the tan line is fresh. They're standing close, too close for a professional retreat. I dial Ethan, straight to voicemail. I hang up, try again. On the fourth ring, he picks up. His voice is smooth, like he's been awake for hours and already had 2 coffees. "Nora, you got married," I say, flat, no question. A pause, then a sigh, the kind he uses in board meetings when an engineer asks something obvious. It's not about the label. It's about alignment. Alignment. I repeat. "You mean you aligned your penis with someone who isn't your wife?" He exhales. "Don't be crass. This isn't a joke. Neither is $18,000. I say, "Non-refundable. Look, I'll have legal send over the separation docs this afternoon. Clean break. No drama. You sign. I wire you the house buyout, and we both move on." I lean against the counter. The kettle clicks off. Steam curls into the air. "And the baby?" Another pause. Longer this time. "That's your choice, Nora. If you want to keep it, fine. But don't expect me to play house now. I'm past that phase of life. Past that phase. Like fatherhood is a software update he already uninstalled. You eloped with your VP. I say, while I'm growing your actual child. Julian understands the vision. He says, the company, the future, you are always going to want different things. Different things like stability, or just not being humiliated in a tech blog before 7 a.m. He doesn't answer. I hear voices in the background. Laughter. Julian's laugh, high, polished. The sound of someone who's practiced being charming. "I have to go," Ethan says. "Board call in 10. Just don't make this harder than it needs to be." He hangs up. I set the phone down next to the ultrasound photo taped to the fridge. 8 weeks. Bean-sized. According to Margot. I touch the edge of the photo. Then I open my messages and scroll to Sienna's thread. Reservation still on. Don't change a thing. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Then, Nora, given today's news. Are you sure? We can convert it to a private tasting. No penalty if you decide by noon. I type back, especially given today's news. She replies almost instantly. Understood. I'll keep the champagne tower. I smile. First real one of the morning. Margot calls before I can set the phone down. Tell me you're not spiraling. She says, I'm not spiraling. I say, I'm recalculating. Recalculating what? Your life plan? Because last I checked, step 2 was have baby, not throw shade at Silicon Valley. Step 2 is still happening. I say, just with better wine. You're really going through with the shower? She asks. After that? Why wouldn't I? I say, he paid for it, and I'm still pregnant. Margot is quiet for a beat. Then she laughs short, sharp, relieved. God, you're terrifying. Okay, I'll adjust the seating chart. Move Claire Whitman closer to the bar. She'll need it. And Derek? Leave Derek where he is. I say, he's the only one who might actually feel guilty. Guilt doesn't pay the caterer. Margot says, but fine. I'll handle the place cards. You just don't cancel on me. Okay. I don't cancel reservations. I say, that's his job. I hang up, set the phone on the counter, and look around the kitchen. It's too big for 2 people, too quiet for a family. But the silence feels different now. Not empty, just waiting. I open my laptop, pull up the guest list, scroll to Ethan's name, highlight it, then Julian's. Change both their RSVPs from accepted to guest of dishonor. Add a note in the margin. Seat them together. Let them explain the vision. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. I answer. Nora Cole? A woman's voice. Crisp. Professional. This is Claire Whitman. I'm sure you've seen the news. Of course. Ethan's biggest investor. Damage control mode activated. I have. I say. Good. Then you understand the importance of discretion right now. The Series B close is next month. We'd prefer this not become a distraction. Distraction. I repeat. That's what we're calling it. Nora, I'm not here to litigate ethics. I'm here to protect value. If you agree to a quiet separation, no social posts, no public comments, will make it worth your while. Significantly, I glance at the ultrasound photo, then at the confirmation email from Sienna. $18. 000, non-refundable. Claire, I say, I appreciate the offer, but I already made a reservation, and I don't believe in wasting good champagne. She's silent for a moment. Then, you're making a mistake. Maybe. I say, but it's me mistake. And unlike Ethan, I don't outsource my decisions to a VP. I end the call before she can reply. The house feels less quiet now, not because it's louder, but because I'm louder inside it. I walk to the fridge, peel the ultrasound photo off, and tape it to the front of the reservation confirmation. 2 pieces of paper. 1 promise broken. 1 promise kept. My phone buzzes again. A text from Julian. Nora, I hope there's no hard feelings. Ethan and I want to handle this cleanly. For the company. For the baby. Please consider stepping back from the shower. It's awkward for everyone. I read it once. Then delete it. Then I text Sienna. Add a second champagne tower. Julian's bringing a +1. She replies, consider it done. I set the phone down and press a hand to my belly. The nausea's still there, but underneath it, something steadier, something cold and clear. Let them elope. Let them hide behind vision and alignment. I have a reservation, and for the first time in months, I know exactly what I'm showing up for. Not a baby shower, a reckoning. By Tuesday, the guest list looks less like a celebration and more like a shareholder vote. I'm camped out at the kitchen island, toggling between Eventbrite and Gmail, while Margot paces with her 3rd LaCroix of the morning. You realize half these people are going to ghost, right? She says, once Claire Whitman starts making calls. It's going to snowball. Let them. I say, RSVPs are free. Regret is expensive. She stops pacing. You're enjoying this. I'm enjoying the lack of surprise. I say, Ethan thought I'd cry. I'm not crying. I'm curating. The doorbell rings. I don't move. Margot checks the camera on her phone and groans. It's Derek. Of course it is. Ethan's co-founder. The human equivalent of a read receipt, always there. Never saying anything useful. I wave her off. Let him in. Might as well get the official version. Derek shuffles in wearing his usual faded jeans, a hoodie that says iterate, and the expression of a man who's been voluntold to deliver bad news. He nods at Margot, then at me. Nora, Derek, I say, you here to check if I've burned the house down yet? He shifts his weight. Ethan asked me to talk to you. Of course he did. Too busy eloping to handle his own mess. Derek sits without being invited. Classic Derek. He thinks if you cancel the shower quietly, it's better for the company, for the raise, for everyone. I lean forward. Better for who? Him or the VP he's currently practicing tax brackets with? He winces. Come on, Nora, don't do this. Do what? Math? $18,000, non-refundable. Paid from our joint account, which, last I checked, still has my name on it. Legal says you could do a name change on the contract. Derek says carefully, move it to your name. Avoid the optics. Avoid the optics. I repeat, right, because nothing says stable AI startup like the founder's wife throwing a baby shower alone while he honeymoons with his VP. Margot snorts into her LaCroix. Derek rubs his temples. Look, I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying, Claire's already fielding calls. The cap table's nervous. If this turns into a spectacle, it's already a spectacle. I cut in. Valley Bite made sure of that. I'm just deciding what kind of encore I want. He's quiet for a beat. Then you could reschedule. Private dinner. Something low-key. We'll cover the difference. I smile. See, that's where you're wrong. I don't want low-key. I want the original reservation. Same date. Same menu. Same champagne tower Sienna already confirmed. Ethan's going to lose his mind. Derek says. Good. I say. Might help him find it. He stands. Defeated. I tried. You did. I say. Now go tell him the RSVPs are trending the wrong way. After he leaves, Margot collapses onto the stool across from me. You're really going to make him watch? I'm going to make him show up. I say. There's a difference. My phone rings. Unknown number. But I recognize the area code Sandhill Road. I pick up. Nora. It's Claire Whitman. Claire. I say. Back for round 2? She ignores the jab. I spoke with Ethan. He's willing to increase the settlement offer by 20% if you agree to cancel the event and issue a brief statement about mutual redirection. Mutual redirection. I repeat, is that what we're calling adultery now? I'm not here to litigate language. She says coolly, I'm here to protect valuation. You have leverage. Nora, use it responsibly. Define responsibly. Quietly. She says, privately. No social media. No speeches. No theatrics. I glance at the guest list. 74 names. Half of them VCs, engineers, and founders who've spent years pretending Ethan's charisma was competence. You know what's irresponsible? I say, $18,000 tied up in a contract I have no intention of wasting. You want quiet? Buy out the reservation. Otherwise, I'm keeping it. Silence on her end. Then, you're playing a dangerous game. No, I say, I'm playing the game Ethan taught me. Optimize for outcomes, not feelings. I hang up before she can respond. Margot whistles. Damn, you just hung up on a managing partner. She'll call back. I say, they always do. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, my phone buzzes with a LinkedIn notification. Julian Voss. Message request. Nora, I hope there's no hard feelings. Ethan and I want to handle this cleanly. For the team. For the product. Please reconsider the shower. It puts everyone in an impossible position. I read it twice. Then reply. Cleanly? You mean like eloping while my shower's still on the calendar? Or like sending Derek to negotiate instead of apologizing yourself? Pick a lane. Julian. Hit send. Then block him. Margot watches over my shoulder. Harsh. Accurate. I say. I open the seating chart. Ethan's name is still there. Front and center. Julian's right beside him. I highlight both cells bright yellow and add a note in the shared doc. Table 1. No escape route. My phone buzzes again. Sienna. Heads up. Ethan's assistant called to ask if we could rebrand the event as a team appreciation lunch. I said the contract's locked. She asked who authorized the changes. I said you did. I smile. Good. Send me the revised menu. Add a vegan option. Julian's preachy about it. Already done. She replies. Also added a sparkling cider toast. Seemed appropriate. I lean back. The nausea's mostly gone now. Replaced by something colder. Sharper. Margot nudges me. You know he's going to show up, right? Try to shut it down at the last minute. I'm counting on it. I say. And if he brings lawyers? Then I'll bring receipts. I say. Slack logs. Calendar overlaps. Flight confirmations. I've had 6 months of late sync-ups. I know exactly how many of them ended in Napa. She raises an eyebrow. You've been saving ammo. I've been taking notes. I say. There's a difference. I close the laptop. The guest list is finalized. The seating chart is locked. The reservation is mine. Margot stands. Grabs her keys. I'll handle the favors. Something passive-aggressive, but tasteful. Get the candles. I say. Lavender. For stress relief. Or arson. She says, grinning. After she leaves, I sit in the quiet. My hand drifts to my belly. The baby's moving. Just barely. A flutter. A reminder. I open my messages. Scroll to Ethan's contact. Type a single line. Then delete it. Then type another. See you at the reservation. Send. No response. Not yet. But he'll read it. He always reads his notifications. Especially the ones he shouldn't. I set the phone down and look at the ultrasound photo again. Bean-sized. Still growing. Still mine. The RSVPs keep rolling in. Yes. Nos. Maybes. But the only one that matters is the one I already gave myself. I'm showing up. And I'm not coming alone. The doorbell rings at 9 a.m. On Saturday. I'm halfway through a protein shake and already annoyed. Margot's still asleep on the pullout. So I answer it myself. Ethan's standing there in his all-birds and a Patagonia vest, like he's about to lead a board retreat instead of a marriage cleanup. Sunglasses on top of his head, jaw tight. He smells like expensive deodorant and worse decisions. Can I come in? He asks. You already are. I say, stepping aside. He walks past me like he owns the place. Old habit. He heads straight for the kitchen. Sets his phone on the island, and folds his arms. You're making this difficult. He says, you're making this literal. I say, eloping isn't a metaphor. Ethan. He exhales through his nose. I'm trying to keep this contained. For the company. For the raise. For you. For me. I repeat. That's rich. Nora. Come on. You're smart. You know how this looks. A very public baby shower 2 weeks after I elope? It's a PR nightmare. I lean against the counter. Who's PR? He doesn't answer. Instead, he taps his phone and spins it toward me. A draft of a press release. Ethan Cole and wife amicably postponed celebration to focus on family planning. Amicably. I say. You mean fraudulently? I mean professionally. He says. You sign off. We push this out Monday, and the shower disappears from the narrative. Clean. Clean. I say. Like your search history? His jaw twitches. Don't be petty. Don't be predictable. I shoot back. You think I haven't read your Slack? You and Julian planning this for months. Vision, alignment, cultural fit. You even use the phrase, org chart synergy. That's not romance. That's a hostile takeover. He pushes off the island. Voice lower. Cancel the event. Nora. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing for who? You? Or the VP you're sleeping with? You're being vindictive. He says. No. I say. I'm being consistent. You made a reservation. I'm keeping it. He stares at me like he's recalibrating a model. You think this makes you look strong? Showing up alone to a party I won't attend? I think it makes you look like a man who eloped with his VP and still can't control his own calendar. I say. Also. Correction, you will attend. The hell I will. You will. I say. Because Claire will make you. Because Derek's already told me you're scared of the optics of not showing up. And because if you don't, I'll forward every calendar overlap, every flight confirmation, and every Slack message where you called this a necessary pivot to TechCrunch in Valley Bite before noon. He goes still. You wouldn't. I already saved the folder to encrypted cloud storage. I say, with instructions to release if I miss a single OB/GYN appointment. He blinks. Once. Twice. Then he laughs short. Humorless. You've been planning this. I've been taking notes. I say, there's a difference. He reaches for his phone. Swipes a few times. Then looks up. Fine. Keep your party. But I'm not playing along. I'll stop by for 10 minutes. Shake some hands. And leave. No speeches. No photos. 10 minutes. I say, we'll see. And Julian stays home. He adds. I smile. See, that's where you're wrong. Julian's already on the seating chart. Table 1. Right next to you. I even requested extra napkins. Since he's apparently the messy one. Ethan's mouth opens. Then closes. He looks at his phone again. Like he's calculating risk. You're serious. Deadly. I say. Now, if you're done with your stand-up meeting, I have a reservation to finalize. He doesn't move. You're going to regret this. I regret a lot of things. I say. Marrying you. Trusting you. Believing sync up meant work. But canceling a non-refundable event? That's not on the list. He finally turns for the door. Stops. Doesn't look back. You know, this kills the Series B, right? I know you'll blame me either way. I say. So I might as well earn it. He leaves. The door clicks shut. Margot wanders in. Hair a mess. Squinting at the sunlight. Was that Ethan? I say. Trying to cancel the reservation. And he failed. I say. Also. He's coming. 10 minutes. Tops. Margot pours herself coffee. 10 minutes is all you need. 10 minutes is all I'll give. I say. My phone buzzes. Julian. Voice memo this time. I hit play. Nora. Please. Don't do this to us. We're just two people who found each other. Ethan's stressed. The investors are circling. And this shower, it's not fair to anyone. Especially the baby. Just cancel it. Quietly. For the sake of whatever's left. I delete it. Then I text Sienna. Ethan stopped by. Tried to cancel. He'll be there for 10 minutes. Make sure the champagne's cold by minute 9. Her reply comes fast. Already handled. Also, he called the venue yesterday. Tried to switch the contract to corporate. I told him the reservation's in your name now. Non-transferable. I smile. Real one this time. Margot leans over my shoulder. You're really going to make him sit next to Julian? I'm going to make him explain why they need 2 seats. I say, in front of Claire, in front of Derek, in front of everyone who thought vision was more than a buzzword. She raises her mug. To non-refundable revenge. To non-refundable clarity. I say, later that afternoon, Derek texts. He's spiraling. Claire's talking damage control. You sure you want this? I reply, I've never been sure. Tell Ethan to wear the linen shirt. It photographs well. Then I open the Notes app and reread the draft I've been working on. Not a speech. Not a manifesto. Just a timeline. Dates. Flights. Slack timestamps. Proof that alignment was just a cover for cowardice. I don't need 10 minutes. I need 60 seconds. And a captive audience. The morning of the shower. I wake up before the alarm. No nausea. Just a low, steady hum under my ribs. I lie there for a minute. hand on my belly, and think today. I don't beg for clarity. I serve it. Margot's already in the living room, tapping through Instagram stories on her phone. Claire just posted a flat lay of her Nespresso and a grateful for my tribe caption. Subtle. She's scared. I say, pulling on the navy wrap dress that still fits. Barely. When Claire gets spiritual, it means the cap table's shaking. Ethan's already here. Margot says without looking up. Parked at the gate in that silver Taycan. Alone. Of course he's alone. I say, Julian's the plus one he doesn't want to admit to. I grab my bag. Check my phone. Sienna's text from 20 minutes ago. Doors open in 45. Staff briefed. Champagne on ice. Your timeline loaded to the presentation laptop. No one touches it but you. I reply, if Ethan asks for the clicker, tell him it's Bluetooth only. And married. Margot drives. I don't talk. I just run through the order of events in my head like a product launch. Welcome. Toast. Food. Then my part. 60 seconds. Maybe 90 if I let the silence breathe. We pull up and Ethan's leaning against the valet stand, talking to Derek. Both of them in vests and soft smiles, like they're here for a panel, not a reckoning. Ethan glances at the car, does a double take when he sees me step out. You came, he says, like he expected no-show. I made a reservation. I say, unlike you. Derek shifts uncomfortably. Nora, save it. I say, today's not about apologies. It's about attendance. Inside, the room is already filling. Tech couples in linen. VCs pretending not to stare. Claire stationed near the bar, sipping sparkling water like it's a shield. I nod at Sienna, who tilts her chin toward the back wall, where a projector screen is discreetly rolled down. 2 minutes. She murmurs. I drift toward the appetizers, letting people come to me. A few murmur congratulations. Others avoid eye contact. One founder's wife actually says, brave of you to go through with this. Like I'm hiking solo in bear country. Not brave. I say, consistent. Then I see Julian. He's near the dessert table, wearing a pale blue button-down that probably costs more than most people's rent. He spots me, freezes, then forces a smile and walks over. Nora, he says softly, you look well. I sleep better when I'm not married to my CTO. I say. His smile twitches. Listen, I know this is uncomfortable, but Ethan and I just want to move forward cleanly. No scenes. Then you shouldn't have RSVP'd, yes. I say, table 1, remember? He glances toward Ethan, who's deep in conversation with Claire. You don't have to do this. I don't have to do a lot of things. I say, I also don't have to pretend at $18. 000 contract is a suggestion. Before he can reply, Sienna appears at my elbow. Whenever you're ready. I nod. Walk to the small podium someone set up near the bar. Tap the mic once. Feedback hums. The room quiets. Hi, I say. Thanks for coming. I know the invite said baby shower, but if you've read Valley Bite this week, you know the theme changed. Today is about reservations. Specifically, keeping them. A few laughs. Mostly silence. I glance at Ethan. He's staring at me. Jaw tight. Julian's looking at his shoes. I won't take much of your time. I say, I know you're all busy optimizing for outcomes, so I'll optimize for mine. I nod at Sienna. She hits a switch. The projector flickers on. First slide, a calendar screenshot. Color-coded. Ethan's blocks labeled sync up, overlapping with Julian's flights to Napa. 3 weekends in a row. Second slide. Slack messages. Ethan, we need to align outside the office. Julian, the vineyard's booked. Just us. Third slide. The elopement photo from Valley Bite. Except I've cropped it tighter. Just their hands. His wedding band still on. Hers new. The room is dead quiet. Someone coughs. Claire sets her glass down hard. Ethan pushes back from his chair. Nora, sit down. Ethan. I say, Voice even. You wanted a clean break? Here's the receipt. Fourth slide. A copy of the venue contract. Bold text, non-refundable. Primary contact, Nora Cole. Fifth slide. A bank transfer confirmation. Our joint account, $18,000, dated 3 weeks ago. I look up. Today was never about Ethan. It was about choices. Some people choose love, some choose PR, and some choose to keep their reservations. Julian stands. This is inappropriate. You're right. I say. It's wildly inappropriate. Almost as inappropriate as eloping with your married co-founder while his wife is 8 weeks pregnant. But hey, vision, right? Someone near the back laughs. Then stops. Ethan's face is red. He opens his mouth. But Claire grabs his wrist. Hard. Sit down. She hisses. You walk out now. It's over. He stays. Barely. I advance to the final slide. A single sentence on a black background. Non-refundable. Noun. Something you can't take back. Like trust. Like time. Like a marriage. I step away from the podium. Enjoy the food. The champagne's paid for. So is the cider. Drink accordingly. I walk off. My legs are steady. My hands aren't. Behind me, chaos. Low voices. Chairs scraping. I don't look back. I head for the patio doors, needing air that doesn't smell like performative neutrality. Sienna follows a minute later, holding an envelope. From the bar tab, she says, Ethan tried to pay with a corporate card. It declined. I take the envelope. Inside, a printed decline notice. Insufficient funds. Or maybe Claire already froze the company cards. Either way, it's perfect. Thank you. I say. Don't thank me. She says. Thank your lawyer. She called this morning to remind us the contract's ironclad. Margot appears, grinning. You just broke the internet and the Taikung's lease in one speech. Good. I say. One of them was fraudulent anyway. We stand there while the party continues behind us, awkward, buzzing, permanently altered. I touch my belly. The baby kicks, sharp and sudden. Guess she liked the slides. Margot says. Or the champagne. I say. Inside, I hear Ethan's voice, raised, Julian's, sharper, Claire's, cutting through both. Then footsteps. Fuss. Ethan bursts onto the patio. Julian trailing. You're insane. Ethan spits. You just tanked the raise. I just told the truth. I say. You're the one who made it a PowerPoint. You'll regret this. Julian says. Voice trembling. Legally. I'm covered. I say. Emotionally. I'm done. Professionally, well, that's your problem now. Claire steps out behind them, composed but pale. Nora. A word. I turn. Make it quick. I have a reservation to enjoy. She lowers her voice. You've made your point. Brilliantly. Now end it. Walk away. Let us manage the fallout. Manage it? I say. You mean spin it? Rewrite it? Issue a statement about mutual redirection while I disappear? The alternative is a lawsuit. She says. The alternative is a deposition. I say. With discovery. And Slack archives. And flight records. And a very pregnant plaintiff who doesn't blink. She studies me for a long moment. Then, you're not who I thought you were. Good. I say. Neither is Ethan. She nods once, turns, and herds Ethan and Julian back inside like reluctant sheep. Margot lets out a breath. Holy shit. Holy reservation. I correct. We stay on the patio until the sun dips low. Then I go back inside, collect my bag, and head for the door. People part for me. No one speaks. Even the servers step aside. At the exit, Sienna stops me. Same time next year? Only if it's a different reservation. I say. She smiles. Deal. I step out into the evening air. The Taikung is gone. Good riddance. Margot pulls up. I slide into the passenger seat, close my eyes, and let the quiet settle. You okay? She asks. I'm non-refundable. I say. She laughs. Damn right you are. As we drive away, I don't look back. The reservation's closed. The bill's paid. And the only thing I'm keeping is the one that matters. Myself. A week later, my lawyer's office smells like leather and quiet money. Lisa Tran flips through a thick folder and doesn't look up. He's suing you for defamation, she says, based on a private event he attended voluntarily. Voluntarily, I repeat, after I told him not to. Even better, she says. He showed up. He stayed through the slides. He didn't invoke the fifth. That's admission by conduct. She taps the complaint. Also, he's claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress. Goo. How cute? I ask. Cute enough that I'm billing him for my laugh. She says, Nora, this isn't a case. It's a tantrum with a filing fee. I lean back. What's the play? We let him spend 50 grand on discovery, then move to dismiss. Or, she slides a second folder across the table. Claire Whitman's people reached out again. Settlement offer. Higher this time. Naydea. Lump sum. Full indemnity. You stop talking. They stop suing. I open it. 7 figures. Enough to disappear to Carmel or stay put in Oakland. Enough to not think about Ethan Cole ever again. And if I say no? I ask. Lisa shrugs. Then we depose him. And Julian. And Derek. And Claire. Under oath. With transcripts. Which, coincidentally, are public record in California unless sealed. I close the folder. Send it back. The settlement. The message. I say, tell Claire I don't need hush money. I need a paper trail. She grins. Thought you'd say that. On the way out, my phone rings. Derek. I almost ignore it. Then swipe. Nora. He says. His voice is raw. I am sorry. You've said that. I say. I mean it this time. I knew. Not everything. But enough. The Napa trips. The Slack threads. I look the other way because I'm a coward and I wanted the series B to close. You still want it to close. I say, not like this. He says, not after watching him try to sue you for telling the truth. I'll testify, Nora, to whatever. Timeline, messages, the fact that he asked me to lie to you about board dinners that never happened. I stop walking. Why now? Because you were right. He says, about the org chart, about the vision, about him, and because my wife told me if I didn't grow a spine, she'd divorce me and take the dog, despite myself. I laugh. Tell your wife I like her. She said to tell you she's saving you a seat at the trial. He says, if it gets there, it won't. I say, Ethan settles. He always does. But thanks, Derek, for the spine. I hang up and forward the settlement offer to the TechCrunch Tips inbox with one line. Founder sues pregnant ex-wife for telling the truth at a baby shower. Docs attached. 3 days later, the story drops. By noon, it's everywhere. CNBC runs a cheer-in. AI startup in turmoil after founder's legal threat backfires. Valley Byte updates their original piece with a new headline. The reservation heard round Sand Hill Road. Claire calls. I let it ring twice before picking up. You're impossible, she says. You're redundant. I say, you already tried the settlement. I'm trying to keep this firm alive. She snaps. Do you have any idea what you've done to our valuation? I gave you a discount. I say, you're welcome. She's quiet for a beat. Then you win. Nora, happy? The raise is dead. Ethan's stepping down as CEO, pending an internal review. Julian's on leave. We're issuing a statement acknowledging interpersonal misconduct and failure of disclosure. Neutral language. I say, very on brand. In exchange, she says, you stop talking. No more leaks. No more slides. No more reservations. Done. I say, on one condition. Name it. Derek keeps his job, and you don't bury him in paperwork to punish me. Another pause, then a dry chuckle. Fine. Derek stays, but if he grows a personality, I'm blaming you. Deal. I say. 6 months later, I'm back at the Vintner's Keep. Different entrance. Different mood. I'm pushing a stroller this time. Lucia bundled in a cream knit onesie Margot picked out. Sienna meets us at the host stand, smiling. Same table? She asks. Different reservation. I say. She leads us to a sunny corner, away from the main room. Just Margot, Sienna, Lucia, and me. No slides, no speeches, just coffee and a view of the vines. You ever regret it? Margot asks, stirring her oat milk latte. Only that I didn't order the more expensive wine. I say. Sienna sets down a plate of macarons. Purple for you, lavender, stress relief, or arson. Margot says. I laugh. It's easier now. Lighter. Lucia coos, kicking her feet. I touch her tiny hand, and for a second, the world narrows to her heartbeat and mine. You know, Margot says, Ethan's consulting now. Some boutique firm in Austin. Julian's doing wellness tech. Good for them. I say. Hope it pays in exposure. Claire's still mad. Margot adds. Claire's still Claire. I say. I heard. She's mentoring a new founder. Told him the first rule of startups is don't sue the mother of your child at her baby shower. Sienna grins. I may have mentioned that to her last week. We sit in comfortable silence. No one checks a calendar. No one hides a phone. No one performs. When we leave, I pause at the threshold. The same doors I walked through 6 months ago. Wrecked and pregnant. Now I'm neither. I glance back at Sienna. Thanks for keeping the reservation. I say. Thanks for making it worth keeping. She says. Outside. The air is crisp. Margot buckles Lucia into the car seat while I stand for a second, breathing. My phone buzzes a text from Derek. Closing doc signed. New CEO starts Monday. Thanks for not burning the whole place down. I reply. I only burn what's non-refundable. Then I delete his number. Not out of spite, out of peace. As we drive away, Lucia falls asleep, one tiny fist curled against her cheek. I watch her in the rearview mirror and think, this is what a reservation should be. Not a contract, not a trap, a promise you choose to keep. I kept the first one because I had to. I kept this one because I wanted to. And the next one, that's mine to make.